Hello and welcome, this is Ruth, and today I have another video for Tonic Studios, and this is the very latest stamp club. Now this one is called Golden Sunrise, and you can see the beautiful A5 die set and stamp set here. If you haven't been before, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Give me a big thumbs up if you do enjoy the video, and leave me a little comment down below, and that way we'll keep in touch and you can let me know what you think of this video. So back to the stamp club in hand. This is the part that struck me first of all, and I know it's a stamp club, but I always love the dies as well. I really love stamping and die cutting together. Now I've taken these out of their little wallets just so that you can see them without the glare there, and I've already washed this because I want to get cracking right away and making something. I think I've shown you a video before where I open these up, remove the backing, and then with a little scrubby brush and some soapy water I wash all of these together, and then I dry them off, and then they're just ready to use as soon as I'm ready to get started. I don't just wash one stamp at a time, I do the whole sheet and then they're ready to go. Now this one reminded me right away of an older die set that Tonic had quite a few years ago, probably about 5 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. It's not exactly the same, but there are some similar elements in it, and hopefully this will work out the way I want to use it again. So for the sunray element here, we've got a little background. Now this one is the outside cutting edge, so that's a die that could be used on its own, not necessarily with this. And that's another thing that I always like to show you when I'm opening these sets up. You can use these in all sorts of different ways with different things that you've already got, and they don't necessarily have to be all used together. So that is really beautiful, a lovely die all on its own there. And then we've got this one, which is verso. That means it has no cutting edges here or on the outside, but these parts are cutting edges here, so they'll cut out the strip parts, and some of them have stitched effects as well. So you can keep that in the card by just using it like that, or you can remove it from the card by using it with this one. If you use it just like this with no cutting edge in the center, you'll get a flat circle area kept within that, but then you can die cut that out by putting this one in the center, and that will remove the circle. Or you can use this one along with this one and set that back in, or as I've done in the past, I have kept this flat and then put a lovely sentiment in there, or you could put all sorts of things, but I've used a similar one from Tonic a long time ago, and I kept it like this, and the little path coming up to it with a little cross I think at the side of it, and Happy Easter on here, and that just gave a beautiful effect there. But you can use it for all sorts of things. There's a lovely, very long grass element here, so that could be used as a border. It has a cutting edge at both ends, but you can join it. You could even layer those. And then we've got some things that could be clouds or even little bushes. And beautiful little ducks here. I always love that sort of thing, and we've got the dies for those as well. Some little trees. We've got here little silhouette trees. But I think the really lovely part of this is that we've got a gorgeous little windmill. So the stamp is there and the die is there, and then we've got the propellers, or I've forgotten the name of them just at the moment, but propellers will do for now, here and here, the arms, isn't that what it is? And then we can add that on top here. That is really lovely. And a little fence stamp, and some, I think that could be poppies or something like that for the background. And the clouds then as well here, which are stamps or dies, yeah, with little birds in front of it. So you are a ray of sunshine. Hello, another trip around the sun for a birthday card. Wishing you a perfect day, sending you smiles and sunshine. And then more little, I'm not sure what that is. It's a little textured part, so that could be for something else here. I'll soon know once I try it out. And here's a lovely little mound, so that would be the hilly sort of background, and it has no edge on it, so it could be used as a slit or a mound. That's two different ways you could use that. So there's loads and loads to play with in this one. A beautiful little rainbow, and the die for that as well. It really has really just fired my imagination, because there's so many different things I want to try on that, and I hope you enjoy it too. So let's get cracking. I'll go and pick some card and I'll be right back. I know it's a stamp club, but for my first card I haven't even used any stamps at all, but I've taken an A6 bright white card and I have taken some Arctic blue classic card and I've cut that to 11 centimeters by 15.5, and I'm going to glue this on here first of all. And then I have taken pistachio green and a little sort of mound die, and I've cut that just slightly up from the base of the paper there, the card, and I'm going to cut it off just down here, and then I'll work out exactly where I need it after that. It doesn't need to be as wide as that, so I'll put it on here, but I'm not too sure of the height that I need just at the moment, so I'm just going to set that aside. So I've gone for a sunray effect using the main outline die and then this one. So I have picked out 3 different shades of gold. For the background one, I'm just covering that up because it always reflects. So for the background one I've used these 2 dyes together, and I've used that on champagne gold, which I'll just turn over now, and then I have used these 2 dyes together on Venetian gold, and that's going to go in the centre of that one, and then I've got harvest gold, so they're getting deeper shades of gold as they sort of go into the centre where the sun would be there, and I'm going to layer those up and put them on here. Whenever you cut this one out, actually, you've got a lovely little piece of what's probably termed as waste, but don't waste that, that could be used for something as well. It cuts out this centre piece here, but you've got this left over to use for something else. And then this one has the little circle and that lovely little dotted swirl to go in the centre there. I'm going to glue that on there, but I want this little mound to be just down here. So first of all I'll glue all of this on, and then I'll just check whatever height I need that at, and I'll glue that on there as well. And then I've picked out some pewter grey, and I've used this little path die and cut that out in it, and I have it here, and I'll just put that on there, and then we'll trim this off as well. And now I've cut these out and backed them onto some pistachio green card, and I've added little 3D foam pads on the back. So I'm going to put my Hello Sunshine onto the top of the sun rays at a bit of an angle. I think that one maybe there, and that one like that. Now I've cut out 2 clouds as well. I wanted a bit more white on that. It's really sparkly, but I wanted some white on it. So I don't want the whole cloud, well maybe I do actually. No, I want the cloud to go roughly about there, so I've cut out 2 of them, one of the larger one and one of the smaller ones, and I will just glue them on like so, and I'm going to snip that off, and I'll do the same here. I really like this little windmill and the arms of it there and the matching dies, and I don't know what they're going to look like when they're stamped out, but I think they've got to be in my next card because they're so cute. So I am going to stamp them and then die cut them, and we'll go from there. I went ahead and made 3 little windmills, so I've got some alcohol markers here to colour them in, and I'm going to use hazelnut truffle with vintage walnut to do the little windmill itself, and part of this, the arms, and then I'm going to use turtle dove and dark slate for the little roof. I've got the 3 windmills coloured now, and then I have the propellers, but I had a tiny little brad, just one, so I thought I'd just put it on there, and then that one will be popped up on 3D foam pads and the arms will move around on it. On the others I'm just going to glue these arms on, and I had to just check, I couldn't remember exactly where they go, but they seem to go just about there, so just about the middle of that top part. And I'll do the same with this one. Now, when I looked at this, first of all, it reminded me of some beautiful holidays we'd had in Holland, and I was thinking of Dutch windmills and whatnot, but as you can probably see with this little die here, there are hills and things, so these are not Dutch windmills at all, because obviously Holland is flat. These are English windmills. So I have now got a 5x7 card blank, and I know some of you are going to tease me about this because it's 5x7 and I'm going to go straight into centimetre mode. I've got this beautiful card and it's Marina Mist. It's absolutely beautiful and I didn't want to waste any of it, so I've cut that to 12 centimetres by 17, and I'm going to use that as my outside mat, and I've cut the centre out so that I can use that again for something and not waste that part. So it's a 2 centimetre border the whole way around, and that should give it plenty of strength. And then I've taken a piece of bright white classic card, and this is 11.5 centimetres by 16.5, and I'm going to put that on there, but not until I've decorated this piece. So I'm going to add lots of these little hills and things all onto this, and then add the windmills on top of that. But before I do that, I want to add some blue onto it to make it look more like the sky up at the top. So I'll take my little mat out again, and I've got some ink here and a little dauber, and I just want to lightly ink over the top of that because I'm going to add some clouds on, and I don't need to go the whole way down, but it's just a sort of hint of blue here and there across that. You'll see with this little piece here, you can actually continue this on and make it longer at both sides because it doesn't have a cutting edge there, and you can also use it as a little hill or a little valley. So depending on which way you place it on the card, you can add a bit of height or a little dip, and then you can just cut these and layer them and put them in whatever way you like. So I've got a few of them here, and I'll just spend a moment or two placing them and seeing which way I like them, and then I'll trim them off down the side of this. You can see where I didn't actually glue the tops of these, and that was because I wanted to slide some of these other die cuts down in, and then I've got my little path up to the windmills there, and I couldn't actually have done that if I glued all of that down. and I wasn't too sure where that was going until I saw what the hills all looked like together. So there we are. Now I've cut out a little oval shape with the same Marina Mist card, and I've left a little piece here as well, a little gap that I can slide that down into. But I've also taken some of the grass here and I've cut it really tightly up into it, so it's just a very narrow border there, and I've just cut that small, and then I've tipped the top of it with some vine leaf marker, alcohol marker, and I'm going to just glue that on around the outside edge there at the back. And I'll show you, that's going to be a little lake with the little ducks on, so I want that around there, just around the outside edge at the top. And I'm going to tuck that down in there, move that round a little bit. I'd like it up just a little bit more than that, I think. Yeah, about there. And then I've gone ahead and stamped, if I could just find them now, they're tiny little things, but 2 tiny little ducks to go on there. So there are actually 2 little ducks on the stamp itself, but one of them has no colour and the other one then I have coloured in. And when I find the second one, I will pop it on there too. Now, my windmills are going to go up here. So as I said, I'll put 2 in the background like that, sort of here. Maybe tuck that one slightly down in there, and the other one up there, and then this one will go on 3D foam pads, and I'll have it sort of where this path ends, so I'll maybe move that one over slightly, and I'll put that one on 3D foam pads, and it will sit out further than the others then. I've now cut another piece of the grass part, and I just wanted to show you this. I think these are the 2 together, yeah. You can actually pull this apart whenever you've die cut it, and you'll have 2 different shapes of grasses, so one's thinner than the other, and that's what I've used here. Both of them are equally as nice and you can use either of them, but I'm going to glue this one just across the bottom here, and I've tipped the top of that again with the vine leaf alcohol marker, and that goes on there. And while I was looking for that, my little duck reappeared, so here he is. I have used the alcohol markers to colour this as well, so the beak has been coloured in fruit punch, and then I have used natural patina on the head, and shorthorn brown just in this tiny little bit at the front there, and soft taupe on the wings. And that looks really cute. Those colours are actually just perfect for that, so there we are. A second little ducky. So there we are. Now what I want to do is just add some flicks of grass along here, and then maybe add a little bit of detail onto this as well. So I'm going to get my green marker and we'll come back and do that. So I think the Persian lime actually works well with this pistachio green. Some of the others tone in with it, but then they disappear after a little while. This one leaves just a lovely little hint of grass, and that's all we want there. So I really wanted to add a little more definition to that, so I've taken vine leaf alcohol marker and added just a little bit of extra colouring in there, so the 2 colours work really well together, and I think that looks better. So there we are, that's the second card made, and I'm not going to put a sentiment on that one. I like it just the way it is, and it could be used for any occasion then. There's my other card. So totally different, I think. The only stamp used on that one, the only stamps on that one are the sentiment stamps, and then on this one I've used the little ducks and the windmills. There's actually loads more stamps on that set. I've just had a look there that I haven't used, but no doubt I'll come back and use those at a later date. And there's other dies there that I haven't used as well. There's loads and loads of scope with this. So I hope you've enjoyed that. There's two very different cards. I think this one's very sort of sparkly and this one's more, well, subdued I think, but really nice as well. I'm really happy with it. So if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done all of that, and leave me a little comment down below. My affiliate links to the die set, the stamp club, and anything else that I've used will be down in the comments, in the description, sorry, of the video just below this. And I do get a little commission from that, so thanks to everybody who uses that. It doesn't cost you any more, but it does give me a little commission. So until next time, happy crafting, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.